Well, thank you very much, Doug. My privilege indeed, to be here to present and to share with you what we are doing in Taiwan. Well, as Doug said, we are going to shift, the focus from informed consent, that kind of thing, to data sharing, and that what we found out we have to do in Taiwan. Okay, my first slide. This is our world. Anyway, it give you, perhaps some of you, have been in Taiwan, but maybe most of you do not know where it is anyway. So this is our world, and that is Taiwan. And then we are down here, okay? Okay, well, to give you a better picture, anyway, this is our globe, okay? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, this is our globe, and I came from here. I flew about 27 hours to get here anyway. I have to go here, I transfer somewhere around here, and then come down again. My goodness, I never traveled in an airplane such a long time anyway. I was sitting there and I said, well, wondering when I will, get to South Africa. And first time I came to South Africa, and I'm really impressed, by the kindness, of people here. Anyway, okay, so you have some idea of where Taiwan is. Anyway, okay, this is about Taiwan. Taiwan is a small island, you see, only 13,000 square feet, that's all, okay? And the population is about 25 millions anyway. So it's indeed a very small island, okay? Well, the Department of Health of Taiwan, now the Ministry of Health and Social Welfare, announced a 4-year pilot scheme in 2005 to initiate a biobank study. And afterward, this was changed to 5 years, and to decide if we will go ahead with national biobank. And we did, we decide, okay? And the purpose of this biobank was to collect personal tissue data from 3,000 people in Taiwan aged 30 to 70 years old, including 10,000 patients diagnosed with various cancers. The entire budget was provided by the government anyway, to begin with in US, 50 million plus. Okay, the Institute of Biomedical Sciences Academic Clinical, that is the highest research institute in Taiwan, in Taipei, was commissioned to set up this population-based biobank. To start with, it is a population-based biobank. Later, this institute was known as Taiwan Biobank, and we call it Taiwan Biobank right now. 4 subdivisions within this biobank have been set up: the medical genetic group, the LC group, the information technology group, and the industrial application group. The Taiwan Biobank has been officially in operation since 2012. Okay, so after this, this trial basis, we decided maybe we are going to set it up, and we started in 2012. And here's some picture to share with you what we do. Okay, promotion to the public and invitation of participants. And people are invited to come, and then we explain to them what we are doing. A lot of people participated. They came. Not everyone participated, but quite a few of them. When they came, of course, they will be given some refreshment. And if they decide to participate, well, there will be some, travel expenses, paid to them. So a lot of people are very happy. They came. Well, at least I get some money, for my transportation anyway. And then they have a lunch too. So as incentive, maybe we should not have done that. But in order to invite people to come, you see, we have done this anyway. And this is about recruitment, okay? Our recruitment station, information, specimen collection, and physical examination, something like this, you see? Okay, the nurses, the trained nurses are collecting all the sample data, okay? And the function of Taiwan Biobank, the establishment and operation of Taiwan Biobank are regulated by detailed legislation. It is a repository of tissue information, but it's not allowed to directly carry out research. It is biobank itself. Information on the participants or voluntary whose sample are included in the biobank will link several sources of data: national identification number, national health insurance system, cancer registry, and cause of death registry. Well, this is population-based bank, you see. So we do not delink their information or their data. So if you're going to trace, who they are, you'll be able to find it, because this is population-based biobank. The current status. The Taiwan Biobank has so far collected close to 200,000 sample tissues from volunteers in the Taiwanese population. Its EGC, well, Ethical Governance Council, or Ethics Governance, community, has been set up, to oversee, the function, operation of this biobank. And this group meets 4 times a year. Besides reviewing requests to use tissue material, the meeting mainly deal with housekeeping business or hearing reports from the operation team. Every time when we meet, the operation team will come and report, to this group, to this, EGC group, how they are doing. If there are some ethical concern, then that will be discussed at that moment. And then, maybe change the course of the operation anyway. Well, actually, we follow UK Biobank, to set this up, you see. But I just heard yesterday, UK Biobank EGC has been disbanded. I feel so surprised. I said, well, when I go back there, what I'm going to tell them, are we supposed to disband our EGC as well? But actually, we are doing something good anyway. Well, it is become a body to guide and, to supervise, you see, the biobank anyway. Any request to use biobank material also has to go through these processes. IRB approves the protocol. A task force within LC review the request. An EGC checks and votes on the request. So any request to use material, biotissue, needs to go through 1, 2, 3 process. If all of these agree, then the material will be released to researchers. Well, the first Taiwan Biobank is located in Taipei, the capital of Taiwan, 2012. But nowadays, we have 31 biobanks established already. Well, as you heard, Taiwan Biobank, National Taiwan Biobank is funded by the government, and the rest of them are not funded by the government, by hospital, by private, enterprise, etc. Now we have 31 of them. Within 13 years, you see, these numbers of biobanks has grown from 1 to 31, and among them 3 are population-based and other disease-oriented. Well, this disease-oriented usually, hospitals anyway. Hospital. After their operation, they will keep the tissue and put in their tissue bank anyway. So there are so many banks right now, and then some other hospital that has not yet established biobank are thinking to establish that as well. What's the purpose? Of course, they wanted to delve into research to find out what kind of genetical disease Taiwanese people suffered, or any special disease, gene we carry. So everybody, seems to be very interested and like to do some kind of research anyway. Okay, several scholarly papers have been published through the research using biobanks data, yet mostly in the area of public health or calculation of people's health status. Research on discovering the genetic roots of disease and finding their cures have been lacking. And actually, we hope that we will be able to discover something and then deal with those diseases. But most of the papers published are in public health area, you see. So professors or researchers have a lot of publication, but will it help solve our health problem? Not really, anyway. The Ministry of Health and Welfare started evaluation visit to all biobanks 2 years ago to find out how to effectively promote the function of these biobanks. A new attempt was eventually initiated this year that is called Biobank Integrating Platform, with a structural innovation to integrate all biobanks through information and data sharing with at least 2 goals in mind. First, promote data sharing. Well, 31 biobanks exist in Taiwan, and each one operates on its own, you see. So we eventually found, if a researcher like to find certain kind of tissue, they have to go through all 31 and take so much time, you see. And this has been proposed, and then we are doing this right now, okay? This will facilitate the research. For biotissues, some researchers complain that finding the right and suitable samples take too long and is too complicated because there are 31 biobanks. Each works on its own. The third, shorten the limit of scientific and ethical review. Well, how do we do that? Well, I'll explain. The new attempt. The first step is to create an intranet to gather detailed information on all biobanks data and make it available to all other biobanks. In this way, all biobanks can be integrated as one because all the information of biobank is sent to the integrated platform for circulation to researchers. So now you don't have to go through all 31 biobanks, but you just click on your computer, then you'll be able to find all kind of material we have, and then you can apply and decide where to get it. One common window system or portal is made available to all researchers to look for data. A scientific review committee is set up to do an initial review of protocol, and the local IRB or EGC needs only to do an expertise review to facilitate the reviewing process. Where usually, IRB will take a long time to review a process and then have to go through EGC again. So, researchers complain it takes too long. Sometimes it takes 6 months, sometimes almost a year, you see? And then this way will be shortened much time, shortened a lot of time. One common window, a scientific review is that, this one. This platform also provides consultation service to the outside world, like pharmaceutical or biomedical company for information. So not only serve to researchers, but pharmaceutical company or biomedical company that do research will be able to check what kind of material they need for their research. Well, we feel very happy that we have this integrated platform, you see, and make it easier for researchers to find tissue and then to promote, facilitate research. But we also find some ethical issues that we need to talk about, and we haven't solved this problem yet. And hopefully through our meeting here, I'll be able to bring something back to help us anyway. Before this integrated platform is established, a certain biobank director applied for and utilized a large amount of data for research. Well, this director of this biobank himself is a scientist anyway, and he will do research, and then he will apply material for his own research, and then we ask a question, well, would this be a conflict of interest? Because he is supposed to manage the biobank, but since he is in a position to know what kind of material the biobank has, and in a good access to all the material, so he one or two apply a lot of material, and so we wonder, should the director or manager of biobank be prohibited from using the data in his or her own biobank? Is there any conflict of interest violated if he or she uses large amount of tissue from own biobank material, depriving others from accessing the repository? Well, the second ethical issue we face is who deserves formal credit when some great finding is discovered from biobank data? The original institute that provided the sample tissue, or researcher and his or her institute? On the other words, I think that has been discussed anyway. When we collect some sample, who owns this sample anyway? Who is the owner of this sample? Well, the individual who donated, or biobank, or whatever. Well, this is the issue we need to talk about. Well, ethical issue, other issue we face. Will the scientific reviewing committee doing the initial review deprive or undermine the right and duty of oversight of local IRB and EGC? About privacy of donor, we said all the information will be kept, confidential. Yet still, some concern has been, voiced anyway. Another thing is the charging fee. Each biobank has a different scale of charge, and some are quite expensive. Researchers, however, often cannot afford to pay the high cost of biodata. Should some mechanism be set up to make the biotissue data affordable? Conclusion, the establishment of an integrated platform shortened researchers. Oh, my goodness. Sorry for that. Okay. Okay. Well, example of this platform shortened researchers' search for data, ensure good quality of biotissue needed for study, save resources, enhances the quality of research, and promote the mutual collaboration of work among researchers. The integration is not to force all biobanks into one. Rather, each biobank maintains its own strength, vision, and uniqueness while opening up to all researchers so that the goal of promoting health and curing disease can be realized. Anyway, some point for discussion, to avoid perception of conflict of interest, the executive director of the biobank should not use the stored data for research, but serve solely as a manager to manage and promote biobank. Creating a centralized IRB may facilitate the review process. The system being recommended in Taiwan is to let the central IRB do the first review. Once approved, the local IRB need only do an expertise review. But when issues arises later, whose responsibility would it be? This central IRB or local IRB or EGC? That's another question we have. We sort of facilitate and shorten the time of reviewing. Yet, if something happened, whose responsibility would that be anyway? Okay, biobank can be a money-making business since users have to pay for the biodata, and this is often expensive. Should the charge be reduced to a minimum in order to facilitate and promote research and find results in the public's interest? Ethics is concerned with how we do things. As such, we are given a task to make sure everything is done ethically. The EGC of all biobanks in Taiwan intend to be responsible for what they do, but how much and how broadly can they govern? Okay, of course, this is about the ethical governance of, anyway. Well, thank you very much. Well, this is the temple in Taiwan, very, very, if you go to Taiwan, you see a lot of temple like this anyway, and you say, thank you. Yeah, this is the end of my presentation.